Today it's Monday the 14th of July, and after playing with some ideas last night I've gone back to a photocopy of the original picture, and I've used compasses to draw circles and to identify the lines where there is a perfect circle. In particular, what I was looking for was the angle of the back and the line down the shoulders, to make that correct so that my plate is true to the original picture. And from there I transferred that onto a sheet of paper. Originally I was working with the image this way, but once I'd finished it I decided that would look, I started with it that way, and when I finished with it I decided that it fitted the paper better if it was that way. As you can see, this bit's been chopped about because I've used it for templates for cutting out shapes. So I worked on a plastic plate, which is here. So this is my plate now. So it's a piece of shirt box packaging, which is a fairly sort of rigid plastic, and I've cut it away completely in the head and the tub and the shoulder area, so that I get those bits plain and embossed. And then I've worked using a sort of plasticky tissue. It's got a very smooth shiny surface, very non-absorbent, so I've used that for the tub. And then I've also cut strips of this watercolour paper and cut them really fine and glued them on. And then what I managed to do was to just by piggling the edge to peel back a layer as well, so it's only half the depth of a piece of watercolour paper, and it's now got a velvety surface instead of a shiny one, so I'm hoping that will be quite nice and black and absorbent. So that's the plate as it stands at the moment, and I've used masking tape and overlapped it to get the body lines. So it's not 100% accurate because somehow when I've been transferring it, if I lay the plate over the original body, the body works and the tub works, but they're not quite together. The head should be a bit lower, but for the purpose of this project I think it's okay. And I think the plates, plate and paper, I think it is an abstract, and it does give the impression of the figure and of the tub. So the next thing to do is to wait for that to dry and then print it and see how it comes out. It is Wednesday the 16th of July, and I've spent the afternoon printing my plate for Degas the tub, the rational abstract. So this is the plate. It didn't stand up terribly well, not too bad, but I lost a bit of the tissue across the middle here, I think because it was so plasticky itself. It didn't hold glue well, and after several prints the tissue came off. This was my first print. I'd done my colours thinking through laying in bed this morning and trying to decide what colours I wanted, and I decided on orange, and then with blue overprinting to make the dark of the barrel. But this was red with some yellow in it. Actually it looks pinker here than it is in reality. But I'm quite pleased with the way these lines have come out, and this little line here. But what I did find on this one was where I'd drawn lines on my plate with a black Sharpie pen, they still stayed through, but having done that and found that was a problem, I managed to erase them out. Once they were wet with ink, it was quite easy just to wipe them off. So that's okay, but the embossing has come out pretty well, and that's quite neat. Okay, so that was the first one. I changed my colour, added a bit more, gradually added more yellow in to get the colour I wanted. That was the next one, and the subsequent one, and these next two are probably the best prints of the pair. What I did realise on print number 2 was that I'd made the most fundamental error out, and that I hadn't reversed my image. So what I've got on my final prints is the reverse of what it should be. So it just goes to show, when you're concentrating on one thing, you can forget something that's really simple and basic. But as an abstract, I'm reasonably pleased with it, and I think that the different sort of line qualities are okay. What happened as I inked the plate up though was that I lost that first line, which had been there in the first place. But the difference in the textures between the tissue and the background have come out okay, and the lines of the body, which I did with masking tape, have followed through. You can sort of track them across the band, so it's okay. That's probably, this one is the best one of all. It's quite hard to see the embossing in this light, but that has embossed quite neatly on the back. Okay, so that's probably my best print of the lot. And then what I tried was just doing some with the ink that was residue on the plate, and I turned it over and pushed it through from the back, so in order to reverse my image. So that's done pretty much completely with embossing and just residual ink on it. And this one I tried, I painted some ink onto the plate and then printed it through from the back. The problem I've got there is that there was a price label stuck on the plate, which was appeared to be very thin, but it's shown through. So interesting afternoon, but a little bit disappointing in that I didn't really get what I wanted. But I like these embossed ones, and what I need to do now is to make a new plate, and what I'm going to try doing is cutting through these lines, the body lines here, so that they become the embossed bit that stands proud, and then just inking in the tub. So that's my next job, is to repeat it and see if I can improve it. What I don't think I've got left is any more of the shirt box plastic, so I need to be looking for a different material, but the original brief was to use thin card, so I need to track some of that down and cut through that.